Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. We're going to do something tonight that I hardly ever do. We're going to ride and chit chat. Ride and chit chat a minute. I don't have to go far. At least I don't think. At least that's not the plan. But you know how plans go. You know, of all of the characters in the Bible, human, man, all of the characters in the Bible, the scoffer is one of the worst. The scoffer is one of the most cowardly. Okay? The scoffer likes to take part in, say, beating you up spiritually, tormenting you, making you suffer along with others helping them. All in the effort to get you to the point, hopefully, or where they can finally ask their favorite question. Where is your God? Ain't that something? Where is your God? Where is your God? The scoffer will cry. Where is your God? I think we the believers have outdone even the scoffer. The scoffer is also, unfortunately, the very first victim of the truth. Yeah. The scoffer is one of the first to go, first to feel the sting of his own question. Where is your God now? And then God answers, or either you answer. And in my case, when my scoffer came, I started laughing, as I did on so many occasions when man-made devils showed up. I started laughing when they threatened to kill me. I mean, they were serious, too. They really tried to do it about 5 times. Jeez. What part you wanna stick me in the cocoa ground? Why do you want to put me in the cocoa ground? Oh man, you guys are something else. But anyway, the scoffer. They're awfully quiet now, aren't they? Do you know why they no longer scoff? Because you've lost faith. Yeah. All of the believers who once had faith have now lost it. You lost your faith a little while ago. You graduated. What you now have is belief. That's why the scoffer cannot exist. Verification of your faith. Now imagine the anger contained inside of the once scoffer, and hatred and bitterness. Oh yeah, it's there. It is there. They hate you. Even worse. They'll age 3 years off their already shortened lives just on hate alone, and the stress level is going to cost them. And that's the truth. But enough about the damn scoffer, man. Listen, I had the occasion to come across a letter written by the judicial magistrate Pontius Pilate to the emperor of Rome, the then Caesar. Now, as the man is writing the letter, the first thing that I could sense was his fear. His fear. I mean, he went into extraordinary detail as to why what had occurred within his jurisdiction. And He had a right to fear because the emperor or the Caesar would later have him put to death for the death of Jesus. Unbelievable, ain't it? Put to death. He himself, because he could not contain an unruly, I would say group, but this was a lot of people. I mean, the man said that they could show that he had done no wrong. They went off. They went to accusing him. Now, keep in mind what you're dealing with. A conquered people living under Roman law, while Rome allowed them to remain Hebrew with their own customs and their own traditions under Roman authority. That's what you're dealing with. A bunch of conquered ass people, beat the fuck up, gave up, couldn't fight. Basically, if it wasn't out of Roman kindness, they would have been slaves again, and convicts, and prisoners. Instead, the Roman Empire allowed them to maintain some semblance of the Hebrew tradition. Now, these are the types of people that you're dealing with. Hang with me a minute, because I'm going somewhere with it. Put a pin in that, as a matter of fact. Put a pin in that right there. He goes on to say, these people, compared to Jesus, as they would later come to be known, there was no comparison. Indeed, he was nothing like any other people around him. And where did he first meet such Jesus? Jesus was minding his business, talking to some people, a group of people. Now, bother no one. Stay in the car, because I'm going somewhere with it, because I'm going to bring it up to date for you. All up to date. Now, a group of people that didn't like the other group of people, but they had greater numbers, and they have a history. By the way, we're going to get to that history. They went off. They started even accusing Pontius Pilate, the judicial magistrate, of possible sedition and in cahoots with Jesus. That's how mad they was. Imagine the arrogance of the conquered. I go before the judge and I say, you must be on his side, but you haven't proved the case. What did he do wrong? Will somebody please bring me some evidence? God damn it. And they're upset. And they're angry. So I started thinking, what were they angry about? You don't have to listen to G. Well, you do now. You do now. But that's because you wouldn't last time. At any rate, back in those days, you didn't have to hear him. He was talking to some people, physically, okay? Non-invasive. He couldn't have known you personally and said, Sarah Jane is over there doing this and that and the other, along with that other dude. They over there behind the dumpster or some shit, and they probably doing that stuff. Or so. See, no one, he was doing none of that. He never personalized anything. And he was talking to people who wanted to hear him. Never about you personally. Just as in the days of Noah, just as it was in Jesus' time, just as it is right now. See where I'm going with all of this? So because he was telling some people, don't live like those people. Those people internalized it. and it became personal. Since when do even, man, we have to fight for this right even today, just in the days of Jesus, Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know how they still breathing. I really don't. But here they are, breathing their ass off. They're going to go to bed breathing, and they're going to wake up breathing. Just breathing. At any rate, man. So they're upset. They're upset that he was speaking on the behavior the other, meaning those who was listening to him, should not be. And because they had indulged in such behavior, he loses life. He loses life. Pilate said they came from all over Judea and even surrounding towns to witness the execution. I bet they brought lollipops. I know they brought themselves, because, boy, you get that many of them, in the males and females in the same area, all of them getting all worked up and lathery over in the blood-filled sex, death, lust, and God knows what may happen. But at any rate, they went before the court. And so Pilate say, you still have not shown me what he's done. Well, he's calling himself the Son of God. Okay, is that against the... He also said that he was prophesying the end of the kingdom and other stuffs. So he was prophesying. And he said he was the Son of God. He said that you said he was the Son of God. He said no such motherfucking thing. He said, I am who I am. But you in your fervor insisted that this man has to think he's the Son of God. He must think he's God. God damn it, that's blasphemous. Man, shut the fuck. Anyway, I am deviating and possibly bloviating. Let me catch a breath. I need a breath here. So where were we? They drug him in front of the court. And Mr. Pilate say, listen, the man still ain't done nothing wrong. Pontius Pilate say, at best I will have him scourged. And that mean beat. Scourged mean beat. Usually with some medieval weapon or apparatus like a whip or a cat o' nine tails. One of my favorites. One of my favorites is the cat o' nine tails. That'll get you to talking real quick. It's 3 strikes. Strikes and you will tell me your life story. I promise you. Anyway, at any rate, he had him scourged. He say that just the sight of him being scourged seemed to excite their bloodlust even further. They were screaming for his death even louder. I told you, it ain't what you think, is it? Hold up, I'm still going somewhere with it. Stay in the goddamn car. Stay in the car and follow the bouncing ball. Like they do on like karaoke night. One of my favorite nights, I used to go to bars, get half drunk and watch the all the way drunk try to become famous singing karaoke as they follow a bouncing ball on the TV screen singing a damn song. I used to find it amusing. You can follow a bouncing ball, right? Sure you can. You're too smart by half. You're too smart by half. Now, they still ain't brought no evidence. So Mr. Pilate has the man scourged, hoping that would satisfy him. And then he say, all right, that didn't work. I'll tell you what then, since he already been scourged and he's been punished, there is this way that we can find of, say, one of the worst amongst you, a scapegoat. And he can be executed in his stead according to your own law, and you don't have to commit sacrilege here, stupid. He called you heathens. Oh boy, he had some names for you. I mean, the Pilate, poor man, he was fighting. He knew he was fighting for his life. He knows that if Caesar found out on the political side, hold on. So you are a judicial magistrate in the Roman Empire, and you can't control, or you have lost control of the situation to this point that I don't even get a chance to meet the man. But back to where we was. Back to where we was. So that wouldn't help either. No, they meant they're gonna have his life. His life. Now, as the day would come, they got their wish. Stabbed, dragged, beat, and you name it, nipped at the heel by even puppy dogs or some shit, okay? And nailed on the cross for hours and hours until he finally succumbed. And he wasn't succumbing fast enough because they shoved a blade up in his rib cage and lung area, hastening his departure. Now, it is said that upon his death and amongst all of the agony, the sky turned black and there was earthquakes that had sent terror through the hearts of the superstitious idiots, talking about you again, who had caused all of this. People went blind. No shit. Okay? But they wasn't done. They wasn't done. They all ran their ass away scary, looking at the ground, just like you would do today, acting as though you had done nothing wrong. I was moving with the crowd. I was moving with the times. That's what you do, because that's what your goddamn ancestors did. And we gonna get to your ancestors. I'm so tired of this ancestor shit. We gonna deal with the ancestor issue tonight. Ancestor. How you think you got to slavery? At your hands? At God's hands? At the hands of the devil? Or the hands of the white man? No, it was at the hands of your ancestors. But getting back to them later. So, the man is dead, but they ain't done. The man's body disappeared in 3 days. Hold up, I gotta back up. I'm sorry, Harold. I left you out the whole story. Pontius Pilate had some kind of empathy with another magistrate in another one of the Roman provinces that apparently covered a part of Judea, and Jesus, being a Nazarene, had fell onto his jurisdiction. So Pontius Pilate is trying to get out the situation. He sent Jesus over to Herod. Herod meet the man, and they talk. No one knows what was said, but Herod sent him back to Pontius Pilate dressed in royalty and summoned Pontius Pilate, and they became best friends because he could not believe what the fuck is going on with these crazy ass people over here. Okay? Now, these are two separate judges in two separate provinces, but Judea was big, so it was at least in two separate jurisdictions. Are you still following the damn white ball? Look up. Stop sipping your beer. Had enough. Follow the ball. Follow the ball. Now, this is where we get to your ancestors. Right about here. The ones who were picketing and marching and fucking protesting and wanted Jesus' head. Not because he had done them any wrong personally. No. He was speaking on the behavior of his people, those who would listen to him. It did not matter if you believed in God or him or anything else. That shit was irrelevant. He never said, I am God and here's the new rules and here's the new laws. He never said any of those things. But back to your ancestors. These are the very same ancestors. And let's see. How far do we want to go back here? And how far forward? Because ancestors could mean the woman or the man just died last week. Do they qualify as an ancestor if they just died last week? Maybe. Maybe yesterday. Are they now an ancestor? Are they still fresh? I'm just curious. But hey, that's just me, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to asperse it that way. But listen, are these the very same ancestors that was telling God that, man, we keep eating the same food? And these rules that you want us to follow, they're just too hard, too. We just can't do this here. I mean, that's just too much, Lord. Them ancestors? Or are you referring to the ancestors that had, even after they had gotten thrown into slavery by God and knew it was by God? Knew it, said so, and they knew it. Said God told them it was coming. It went so far as God told your ancestors that I will put you into slavery to make you worthy of the air I have breathed into your lungs or into you, to make you worthy. Ain't that something? Your ancestors. Hold up. He parted the Red Sea, killed off a whole nation, talking about Egypt, or most of it. But, well, first he sent it through some torture and some torment. Many lamentations came up, and they still died on your behalf. But hold on. He wasn't done. You mocked Moses the entire time he was talking about your ancestors. Mocked him. I would have turned around and a staff beat a lot of you. Moses was a big man and a bold man. He just should have started beating people with a staff, turned the staff into some kind of multi-staff with snake heads and just went to biting and swinging. I don't know. But it couldn't have been me. As he leading they ass out of captivity. Okay? After he has brought death and calamity to Pharaoh and his son and caused a very angry wife. A very angry wife. And they had took their gold and made it in the shape of a calf, melted it down. Man, that's rare these days. That's the good stuff. Just melt it down on any fire that you build. That's 100% gold. You can bite it and it'll dent. And they don't make that anymore. If they do, they hide it from the rest of you while they give you that cheap-ass 14 karat. That's okay. That's okay, too. It's a capitalistic other country. But back to your goddamn ancestors, man. Now, not only did they melt it down and started worshiping the calf, they was having sex orgies and rituals all around the calf. This is the scene that Moses came down to witness. And Moses, rather than really just deal with them like that, Moses went right back up the mountain. You already know. Talk to him about what? Talk to them about what, man? Say what to him? So he went back up the mountain, basically, and he talked to God. He already knew what it was. God, are you going to kill him? Yep. Pretty much, I'm going to kill him. Well, Lord, I mean, would you kill them after you have saved them? God say, watch me. Pretty much, yes, sir. I will be killing them right about now. A big-ass hole opens up. God and holes are something else. Satan got sucked through a hole, too. And you put dead bodies inside a hole. Seas and holes. Everywhere you look is a damn hole. Quit digging holes every goddamn while. Well, somebody just stopped digging holes. Damn. Holes, holes, holes. So a big-ass hole opens up. Okay? Sucks the calf in. All of the sex orgy people went in there with it. And it covered back up. And the people standing around like, what the hell just happened? The Almighty God. I tried to save him. Well, I question Moses, because how hard did you really try? I mean, it seems to me, if you'd have nibbled around the edges and went too direct, you know what I'm saying, to really save him, like, if you just saved him, would you kill him? Well, it was easy for me to save him. I guess it's going to be pretty damn simple for me to kill him, too. Oh, well, Moses didn't even put up an argument. He just kind of hung his head. And then they was dead. Your ancestors. Know what else Pontius Pilate said about whereby at that point he considered you heathens. Heathens, I tell you. He said of the Sadducees and the Pharisees, that be you higher up Negroes. He said they would just as soon betray their own mama for an office and a luxurious home. Damn! You talking about prophetic. That is a prophetic statement. He said that they would just as soon betray their own mother or an office and a luxurious house. Well, I say, well, goddamn. Mr. Pilate, I wish we had a met. I wish we could meet now, because we have much to discuss. Your ancestors. Now, why are they important? They're not. To you. Do you remember your history, maybe? It was your ancestors who was in slavery. What good can they tell you? How not to be a slave? How to be a good slave and then die? How to die a slave and never have ever put up a fight not to be a slave? 95% of them never even tried to run away. They never even tried to run out the plantation. You talking about them ancestors. Them ancestors, those. You mean those ancestors that was, let's be fair, let's just say any white man or woman could have their way with them, and they learned to like it? Are you talking about those ancestors? They learn how to manipulate it? You talking about them ancestors? Because I'm just so stuck on your damn ancestors that was thrown in slavery that caused all this shit here. And the same ancestors would later kill Jesus himself. Once again, not because he targeted them or talked about their mother or insulted them. He is teaching others, here's another way. There's another way. You conquered bastards. You sit here inside of another man's land that was once your land, and you didn't. These are the ones who, man, didn't die. Ain't that something? During the Roman conquest, these are the leftover bastards, causing all of the frictions. They always are the ones that remain alive. So, these ancestors, really? And you think, wait a minute, so your ancestors have brought you everything from Baphomet to Balak. Stop. Stop it, damn it. Just stop. Okay? Stop with the ancestor shit. Stop it. Your ancestors have brought you false god after false god after false belief after false belief after false god. What haven't they done to the rest of the masses that have harmed the rest of the masses? Talking about your ancestors. Your ancestors. In fact, it is the children of the ancestors to this day. The very same ones that had you thrown in slavery out of utter contempt. Thrown in slavery and undressed by the Almighty. I mean undress. You know how much undress? Do I have to just go there? You carry you carry the undressing today. They just won't tell you. They just won't tell you, but I bet you I will. I will tell you. I will. But not tonight. Not tonight. Tonight, I wanted you to understand how someone who believes or loves. Let me tell you something. Let me interrupt that thought. Do you know that at any moment, all Jesus had to say is stop, and instantaneously a legion of angels would have fell out the sky and went to killing all of them. All of them. And these same incorrigible people wouldn't even claim it. They all walked around like they didn't do nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong. We shouldn't feel bad. And then over time, as you would today, you would just let it slide from your memory. But God didn't forget. And I didn't forget either. Now think about Mr. Pilate, though. Back to Mr. Pilate. The man would later, after seeing how futile politically, politicians don't play these games with these dumbass people. Listen, he tried to wash his hands of it. It was customary in Rome that when shit gets so bad, the judge would order up a damn water basin. Bring me a basin. And it was made of like porcelain. And he would wash his hands in front of the jury and the staff and the crowd, saying, I am done with the matter. I'm done with the matter. I'm not taking part in this shit here. But he knew he was already screwed. He had been outmaneuvered by some heathens. Some hedonistic heathens. And now we deal with the children of the hedonistic heathens to this day. To this day, it seems like it's a repeat. It feels just like a repeat. It is a repeat. It's the same old Pharaoh, let my people go. We have that. We have the same, the children of the people who hated Jesus. They've all been replicated multiple generations, and they arrive here on the stage right on time. Everything's here. Everything's here except one thing. Ain't gonna be no crosses. Ain't gonna be no nails. Ain't gonna be no hammers. But we did bring a whole lot of water and plenty of fire. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.